is a mental barrier. The only way doubt becomes a physical barrier is if I let it impact my decision.
And everybody know the story of David and Goliath, but this is bigger than triumph. This is for the warrior. This is for you and I. This is for euphoria. Give me your peace of mind. God is recording this. Won't you look in the sky?
Ashley Kirkwood left a very successful job to launch her own business.
She's the founder of Mobile General Counsel.
One of the baddest sisters that I know.
I'm here to talk to you about confidence, money, strategy, commitment, perfection, purpose, possibility.
What does failure mean? It doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. The only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not try again on Tuesday.
This is how we view the corporate ladder. With every step you took, you just wanted more of their validation.
These are the stumbling blocks that you all have to come over. Lack, doubt, skepticism,
Insecurity.
and if you make it from a certain spot, go back further, shoot it again.
All of a sudden, what was once too heavy, I was able to lift.
I'm about to introduce
Join me in welcoming
Our next guest.
For legal expert, author, and the founder of Speak Your Way to Cash, Ashley Kirkwood. Ashley Kirkwood.
Ashley Kirkwood.
Ashley Kirkwood.
Ashley Kirkwood.
Ashley Kirkwood.
Ashley Kirkwood.
Ashley Kirkwood. Ashley Kirkwood.
Up, you guys, Ashley Kirkwood in the building. I'm so excited to be back with you all. If you can see me and hear me okay, just drop a hello in the comments. Y'all, I got my fresh braids. You know how we act when we got our fresh braids. So we're actually going to be talking to you guys today about a winner's mindset, And if you can see me and hear me and you're here, just comment winner in the comments. And I want to make sure that you all know all of the things that we've been doing to really hack, like millionaire mindset hacks that we've been implementing and deploying. And what brought this conversation on is I was talking to my friend and I was having one of them good girlfriend conversations. And she asked me a question, and it's a serious question. And it may be a question that some of you all have today. And so I wanted to make sure that I answered it, not just for her privately, but for all of you publicly. And her question was, how do you keep getting back up when life knocks you down? How do you keep hiring? How do you keep how do you keep going after your goals aggressively? How do you keep hiring people when it sometimes works out and sometimes doesn't? What is the muscle that you needed to develop to keep doing what you do at the level and intensity and in pace that you do it? And I want to answer that question for some of you, because maybe some of you have been feeling like life has been giving you a lot of sour lemons, like things have not been going exactly as you want, and like you need a little bit of a pick-me-up so that you can really do this thing right, okay? So if any of you have been feeling like that, just let me know. Comment a yes in the comments if you've been feeling like that at all. Comment a yes in the comments if you've been feeling like that at all, because I want to talk to you, okay? I want to talk to you, and I want to give you guys some encouragement and some motivation, because that's what we're about to get into right now. So she asked me this question. And she was like, how do you keep going? And it was interesting because one of the things about people who just keep going is we will drive past an emotion. Like, we don't really think about or sit in our feelings that often or that much. Any of y'all like that? Like, you have so much on your plate that you really just get it done. You don't even really think about, like, how do I get it done? You just like, I just get it done. But then I thought about it a little bit further, and I was like, you know what? There is something that I do. And I told her this, and I said, you know what? I keep going. Now, first, I gave her practical advice, because I'm one of those friends where if you ask me a question, I want to give you the practical first. I'm like, practically, we are always hiring at Speak Your Way to Cash. Practically, if I hire for a position, I have 5 or 6 great candidates, and I highlight them and I color code it by color. So if they are like an outstanding candidate, they're in green. If they are a maybe candidate, they're in yellow. If they are absolutely not, they're highlighted in red. So we keep a database for all key positions of people that we can hire. So I gave her like the practical tips. I'm like, I test a lot on the front end. And then I told her that I was reading this book called Extreme Ownership, or it wasn't called Extreme Leadership, but it's basically like a Navy SEAL's guide to leadership. And one of the things that they say in the book is that there is no such thing. This was huge. No such thing as bad teams, only bad leaders. And they were like, that's what extreme ownership is. It's taking full responsibility. And so even if you believe you're a good leader, if you don't hire the right people for the job, that's bad leadership, because a great leader picks the right team, right? A great leader helps to identify that so that the people who are on the team don't have to deal with like weak players. So it's your responsibility no matter what. So that's number one, is extreme ownership. Number two, I have a mindset. And maybe it's because I'm from Chicago. Anybody else from Chicago? I live by a code. And the code that I live by is that it always works out for me in the end. Another part of the code that I live by is this. I don't let people leave my life without giving me a gift. I don't let situations leave my life without giving me a gift. I don't let anybody sneak out of here without giving me a gift. And sometimes the gift is a lesson. Other times the gift is that, they exited. Other times the gift is that I learned so much from them. The other times the gift is that I actually learned information from them and they were great in a particular season and they just can't go into the next season, but they still gave me a gift. And so in every situation, when you take a gift out of it, when you don't let anybody leave your life without giving you a gift, then you look at your past in a way that can literally push you towards your future. Now earlier today, the reason I'm a little glammed up, I did the Your First Corporate Offer Summit Day 1. And one of the things that we talked about was whether or not your current self was going to make decisions in this season that would literally be like passing the baton to your future self, or whether your current self was going to make decisions that held you back. And I told them a story. Y'all know when I do these Ashley Nicole Show episodes, I like to tell you guys a story. And I told them a story about where I got my start. And I was like, y'all, let me show y'all something. Are y'all cool with me showing y'all some behind the scenes? If you're cool with seeing some behind the scenes, say show us. Y'all like the stories that we did last time, so we're going to keep it going. Check this out. I showed them this picture. And this is a picture of me and Chris's first apartment. So some of you all know this, some of you all don't. Me and Chris got married at 22 and 23, right out of college. We actually ditched class one day and yes, we were super seniors. In case y'all doing the math, 22, 23 in college, we were super seniors. We ditched class one day in order to go and get married. And right after we graduated, we rented this apartment on the southwest side of Chicago. And at the time, I think Chris was working part-time through college. I had a full-time job offer, and he had just been promoted from his part-time job to go full-time at the Chicago public school system, working on a grant. And this was the first apartment that we got together. And it was also the first apartment that we had leased like as a married couple. And it was on 38th in California. It was $550 a month. Now, to give you a sense of where we were at, we were about 10 blocks from the prison, which was on 26th in California. And our landlord, when we showed her the house, she was like, "Where are you guys from?" We were like, "Oh, we're both from Flossmoor, Illinois." And she was like, "Flossmoor, Illinois? Why would you be moving out here?" That's not what you want to hear when you're looking at an apartment. I can just tell you that. But I was so incredibly excited to move there because one, it was affordable. Two, we had walked around the neighborhood in the daytime and at night, and we were like, okay, we can make it work. We can make it work. We were down the street from like this grocery store that we would get a ton of fresh fruits from. We could get a box of mangoes on the way home for about $5. It was a largely Latinx community. And it was, it was what it was. Now, I did sign up for the spot crime alert, which is the only way I found the address because I actually forgot the address. And when I put it in Google, it gave up this image. And I was like, yep, we lived in that green building right there. That's where we lived. And I remember the floor being like slanted in the apartment. So it was a lot. It was like the floor was slanted. The bathroom didn't even have a shower. The shower was in the guest room and it was $550 a month. And when I look at this apartment and I think about all the incredible, matter of fact, we couldn't even afford furniture. We went on Craigslist furniture, sorted by free, and got all of our furniture mainly for free from Craigslist, which now in the post-COVID era seems very dangerous. The Lord really did protect us. But I showed everyone this picture because oftentimes when I tell my story and I'm like, yeah, we run this multi-million-dollar business and it makes multiple millions of dollars a year and we do these things and we have these great clients and we work with the best experts in the world. And I'm a lawyer. I went to Northwestern, graduated cum laude. And before I started this company that did well, I had a $500,000 law firm that we were growing and scaling. And then like I've done a lot of stuff that makes it almost seem like my story is unreachable and unapproachable. But when we lived in this apartment, we were on food stamps. And I would go and shop at Whole Foods, even though I was on food stamps because I always was bougie. And I remember the embarrassment I would feel when I would slide like the food stamp card to the cashier and I had a long line of people behind me. I used to be so embarrassed. And I just used to tell myself like, it will not always be like this. This is going to be a story one day. This is not a permanent state. And so when I think of how I can survive betrayals and how I can survive bad times and how I can survive people not believing in me, it's because there was always something in me that made me believe in myself. And I believe one of the enemy's biggest attacks is to steal your hope. If he could steal your hope, he will steal your action. Because if you don't have hope, you will not take action. And I just believe that I am not going to allow the enemy to steal my action, because here's what's been proven to me over time. What's been proven to me over time is that I have always had financial increase after an investment in my mind. So I'm going to keep investing in resources, keep investing in things that make me better, keep believing in things regardless of what I see. My feelings are always weaker than my beliefs, meaning that I believe that I will win. And so even if I feel in the moment that I'm taking a loss or I'm taking an L, my belief is stronger than my feelings. So even when it feels like there's no good team members out there, or there's no good whatever out there, which we have an amazing team at Speak Your Way to Cash, but those feelings did come up before I have my current team. And so what I would do is I would be like, okay, you feel that, but what do you believe? Here's another thing. So number one, your feelings have to be stronger than beliefs. First millionaire habit, right? Second thing though, and this is a big one, you have to live by a code. Have you ever watched movies where, like, y'all do not be coming for me for this example, but have you ever watched like those crime movies where it's like a real big crime boss and you be wondering, like, how does this person do this? Like, how are they handling all this massive stress at this time? Like how are they able to handle all of this incredible stress? This is crazy how much stress they must be under. And one of the things that I've always noticed in those movies is that they handle the stress by living by a code. Now, I did not get my code from those movies. I received my code from my parents, from my faith in God, from a lot of different areas, but I still live by a code. Even now, even today, I'm living by a code. And the code that I live by, you guys, is that if you do the activities that yield results consistently, there is no way that those results will not come. So let me tell you a little bit more about my story. Here we go. Now, you guys, let me tell you this. This was our first apartment. When we lived here, though, I started my speaking career. Okay? I started speaking. Now, the first time I got paid to speak, I got paid like $100 or so to speak. But these were some of my early speaking stages. All of the things that you see on this screen came from a pitch. And I pitched someone that I did not know. How many of you know right now that you need to be sending out more pitches to grow your business? Comment pitch in the comments. Comment pitch in the comments if you know you need to be sending out more pitches to grow your business. That stage up there, that was Felician University. That was one of our first private school clients. I pitched her, called her, she Googled me, I signed a contract. Was it a lot of money? No. I think my first contract, it may have been $5,000 or so for that school. And then of course they paid for travel. Then I pitched for a TEDx talk a little bit later, right? I got on a TEDx stage because I actually pitched them. I wanted to do a TEDx talk, so I pitched them. And actually in this TEDx stage, this was early, but I was actually pregnant here. So this had to be 2020. Okay, now look over here. This one was from 2018. And it says, I'm headed to speak to the National Pre-Law Conference about to teach future lawyers about the law school hustle. I was in the back of a cab. It had to be. It was not no black car back then, right? And so I pitched to speak at this pre-law conference. And I remember them telling me, well, you can come and speak. We'll pay for your travel, but we can only give you $500. And I countered with, okay, I'll take the $500, but can I bring my books and can I sell my books to students? And they said I could. And I said, okay, how many students will be there? I was able to print my books for $2 and then sell the books for $20. And I remember being in the session, and Chris used to come with me he came with me to this pre-law conference, and I had my book in my hand, and Chris was like, babe. So I would speak in the front. Chris was in the back at the sales table selling my books. And he was like, babe, I noticed that whenever you actually use your book and like wave it and stuff, you actually get more sales. So I need you to be like waving your book and showing people, this is the book, like, this is what I'm going to do. And so that was my first real experience learning how to sell from the stage. Now, I didn't know it then, but now we've been able to generate millions of dollars by speaking and selling at the same time. So presenting our offer to a group of people. But what if I would have never pitched for these conferences, taking the engagement, even though it was a little bit under my rate at the time, and then learning and perfecting the craft of selling from the stage. This was in 2018. Then 2020, I was a keynote speaker for the University of Tennessee Martin. I want you all to look at that date, March 14th, 2020. What happened in March of 2020? The pandemic. Now, this is where it gets interesting because I lost $50,000 in a matter of 2 weeks when the pandemic first hit. Every college and corporation that we were scheduled to speak at full time broke our contracts. And y'all know I'm a lawyer and I don't play about my contracts. So I had two options. One, enforce the contract and be like, hey, this is not going to work and blah, 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 blah. Or two, say, okay, I'm going to ride with my clients through this. This is a national disaster and I'm going to stay in touch with them every week. Do you all know that even though I lost 50K in contracts when the pandemic hit, that was the year that we were able to triple our rate. This same client came back and was able to do an even higher rate because we were so accommodating to them during the pandemic. And I was still able to be the keynote speaker on their campus. Another school that we spoke at was the University of Virginia. Why am I telling you guys these stories? I pitch these people. Like I pitch. There are two key ways for you to do this. You can pitch the client directly and get on a sales call. Option one. Or you can pitch to speak at a conference and speak at a conference where a whole lot of clients will be. And then you pitch all of them to get on a sales call and you sell to the conference. Now, where is a conference I spoke at with decision makers? This is a picture of me in 2019 speaking at a national conference for business owners and decision makers and leaders in Chicago. That was the same stage, I believe, that year Mayor Lightfoot spoke. And I was one of the speakers because I pitched. Some of you guys want to get on influential and big stages, but you're not pitching anyone anything, okay? So we got to get over that. Now, this was me in 2018, and I'm talking about going to go and speak. I think I was flying to New York here to go speak at a law school about my book, The Law School Hustle, which was my first book that I ever drafted. And y'all, I was on Spirit Airlines. I didn't even check any bags. I had my flexi rods in and my hair was wrapped because as soon as I landed, I had to go into the airport bathroom, unwrap my hair, take out my flexi rods, go and speak, and then get back on a plane that night because they didn't even pay for my travel, but they were able to pay my rate. But the rate wasn't high enough for me to want to spend a whole lot of money on travel. I'm telling y'all how it started. Okay? I'm telling y'all how this was before we were getting $15,000 contracts to speak virtually. This was before I was getting $25,000 keynotes back to back. This was before all of that happened. This was the foundational elements of how we started. And then I did another keynote speech, TEDx McHenry County. This one up here was like a TEDx Chicago event that we did as well. Now, check this out. I told you guys that this was our first house. At this time, I was taking 2 trains and a bus to work. I was working for $25,000 a year. I told you all that story on my video that I did yesterday. I was also, when I lived here, studying to be a lawyer. Okay, I was studying to be a lawyer. And that's important to note because one of the big things that happened is I actually was able to become an attorney. Got my first job. It was a 6-figure job at a really large law firm in Chicago. And in 2017, me and Chris actually bought our first house. Now, I shared this transition because when I look back over my life, you guys, and I look at, where we were at in 2012 and where we were at in 2017 and where we're at now, the common theme is growth. And one of the common themes of growth is this. Even when things were bad in a moment, I didn't let that moment become a state of mind. Like, I didn't let that moment become like my permanent residence. And all of us are going to have moments where things do not work out. But if you can't figure out a code that you live by, which says everything works for me no matter what, nothing happens to me, everything happens for me no matter what. It doesn't matter what I'm feeling. My beliefs are stronger than my feelings. These are like you need a framework for how you are going to make things work, even when it feels like nothing's working. And for all the things that we're going through right now, you need to consistently be creating opportunities for yourself. One of the reasons why I never have felt like I didn't have hope was because I always had seed. Let me break that down. One of the reasons why I never felt like I didn't have hope was because I always had seed. And when I say seed, I mean I was always sending out pitches. I was always investing in my mindset. I was always reading something. Now, I say always, but I mean like once I started actually growing. Because I remember a time when I was not investing in myself, investing in my mindset. But once I got married and I was like, okay, we're going to build this marriage. I'm going to become a lawyer. And eventually I'm going to become a business owner. Like once I decided that, I had to keep growing my mindset. And so those of you who feel like I don't have enough clients right now, or I'm not making as much as I want to make right now, and that can be everybody from people who make millions of dollars a year who want to make more, to people who make $50,000, $60,000 a year who want to make their first 100,000, to people who are making $500,000 and want to make $1 million. Do you have enough seed in the ground? Because your hope is going to be deferred if you aren't taking the actions that you need to take in order to believe. Like, it's easy to believe that something good is coming around the corner when you sent out 500 pitches and you know that one of them joints is going to hit. It's easier to know that something is coming around the corner when you're constantly putting out content, and not just putting out content, but DMing the people that like it, because you know that one of them you're going to be able to help. Sometimes your hope is a little bit lower because your seed hasn't been spread far enough. It hasn't been planted deep enough. So this is the season of sowing the seeds. And when I say sowing the seeds and you're a business owner, what I actually mean is sending out pitches. Now, this was us in 2017. We bought our first house. The man in the blue shirt is my dad. In the black is Chris. In the pink is me. That's our awesome realtor, Trudy. That's Mike Owens. And then we also had a lawyer there who actually helped us to close the deal. I show you guys this picture because I like sharing the behind the scenes story. I don't want you to think that we started here. I want you to understand that we grew here. And every single night that I went to that $550 apartment, I had to continue to believe that life was going to get better, that I was going to become an attorney, that I was going to get the job of my dreams, that I was going to be able to build the business, and at the same time that I was going to be able to build the family that ended up coming later. Now, in 2024, we actually were able to buy our dream house in Georgia. We were able to buy our dream house in Georgia. And one of the things that, that I remember thinking was about our $550 apartment. I want you all to understand this. This is still a time of opportunity, but only for people who are going to commit to a code. It is going to get hard sometimes. Sometimes it'll be easier. But what you have to commit to, and this is what happens when business slows down. I want to help those of you who are like, okay, business is slowing down. What do I do? If business slows down, your activity needs to speed up. But what happens in entrepreneurship, and let me know if you've ever done this, is business slows down and your activity slows down because you're like, I just don't feel it. And whenever I see business slowing down and people's activity slowing down, that means that they are emotionally tied to the results their business get. So if their business is making money, then their confidence is high. If their business isn't making money, then they hide. But if you are on mission, then whatever the mission is of your business, you need to be so like you're so wrapped up in that mission that even when things happen where it's like, oh, this isn't working out or that isn't working out, even when that happens, you are still focused on the mission of your business, okay? And so I want to help you guys out. Now, you need to start sending out more pitches. If you will commit to spending 1 hour a day for the next 30 days pitching new clients, comment 30 in the comments. Comment 30 in the comments. If you are willing to spend 1 hour a day for the next 30 days pitching clients, comment 30 in the comments. Comment 30 in the comments, okay? All right, where are the 30s at? 1 hour a day, the next 30 days, pitching new clients. Comment 30 in the comments. 30 in the comments. One of the things that we offered today at the Your First Corporate Offer was an opportunity for our team to come alongside you guys and actually help you to pitch for clients. Here's what that looks like. Many people right now do not know exactly how to pitch for large clients. They don't have sales scripts. They don't have anyone reviewing their pitches. They don't understand the difference between pitching and prospecting, and they don't understand how to actually find unlimited leads. So what my team did, because our programs, our mastermind programs start at $35,000 and go up to $100,000. Our team came up with a solution for the business owner who wants our help with coaching and pitching, but is not ready to invest at that $35,000 mark just yet. Now, I offered this to those who registered for the Your First Corporate Offer Summit. And one of the things that I told them was that the persons who, I'm not even gonna tell y'all that. one of the things that I told them was that if you will commit for the next 30 days to pitching 1 hour a day, we want to coach you. Now, when I say we want to coach you, we have a team at Speak Your Way to Cash, and one of the Speak Your Way to Cash coaches runs our Pitch Your Way to Cash membership. They do monthly calls with you to go over your pitching and your business, and they'll review your pitches, and we have AI tools that will actually help you build out your $25,000 corporate offer. If you want to know more about that, comment more in the comments. Comment more in the comments. I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes of the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership. Now, that is not something that I typically share on our platforms because we have dedicated launches for these. But I wanted to come on here and share about it because right now we are giving you guys the opportunity to join the membership for more than 55% off. For about 55% off. If you join the membership by midnight tonight, our membership right now is $5,000. And I can actually show you guys that if you go to www.pitchyourwaytocash.com, this membership right now is on our website. It's on our website for $5,000. This is our membership. You join any other time. I'm going to give you guys a way to get it for more than 55% off if you buy it by midnight tonight. Because here's what I know. If you don't have enough seeds in the ground, you cannot expect what you did not actually store up. So you want to make sure that you are actually pitching for new business. We have found that there were courses on operations. There were courses on like marketing. There were courses that covered everything under the sun. But the number one thing that helped us grow our business from when I was living in that $550 apartment to now was outreach. Going directly to a decision maker and asking them to buy my services, whether that was my legal services, my speaking services, my consulting services, or my coaching services. So here's what you get in the membership for the $5,000. You get developing a champion's mindset. You have to understand millionaire mindset habits. This module is so critically important. And the way our membership is laid out, every single last one of our modules actually has timestamps here because it was created for the busy professionals. And this program is 12 months. You get 12 months access to this. You have mindset activities. Every single module actually comes with a workbook. The workbook itself is going to actually walk you through activities that you can do to build your mindset, reframing limiting beliefs so you can actually get through this. Right now, more than ever, all you need to be putting into your hearing is positivity. Let me tell you when you should not be playing with listening to stuff that is negative. Right now, today. This is when you should not be doing that. Module 2 covers introduction to sales. Module 3 covers pitching. And we have a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 of pitching is really going to deal with like how do you send out the pitches, the technical aspects of pitching, how you can actually send, how do you invite them to a sales call, how do you use cold emails, how do you ask questions, how do you use pitching by sending a resource, how do you send a breakup email, what does that look like, how can you do integrated pitching. It literally covers all of that. I give you an example of my speakers reel. We give you sample LinkedIn messages, sample email pitches, and we cover the whole foundational art of pitching. Part 2 is going to actually cover how do you handle sales calls? How do you handle sales calls? So we're going to go over having a written sales script, giving you a roadmap, fact finding, and then we're actually going to give you a sales script because again, we don't just give you the content in video. Every single module has a workbook that goes with it. And this one covers what to do before the sales call, what to do during the sales call, a sample sales script, what to do after the sales call. How many of you all know your sales script could use a refresh? Okay, so we're going to give you the sales script that has worked for us. Then in module 3, we're going to cover how you can pitch the press. Many of you need to be pitching in 2 directions. 80% of your time should be spent pitching clients. 20% of your time should be spent pitching the press. Why should you be pitching the press? Because you need to grow your brand. How many of you know you are not just building a business, you are actually building a brand? Comment brand. So we're going to show you how to pitch the press, how to have a written script in place, how to actually find the people to pitch, how to get their permission to pitch, the value of the question. We're going to go through all of that. Press pitching examples, how to pitch the podcast, how to pitch media, the importance of writing your pitches in a particular way. Then we're going to cover how to pitch corporations, how to find your ideal clients, how to pitch them using AI and leveraging it in the process, how to pitch college clients, how to research target clients so that you know exactly who you should be pitching to at the college, how to pitch to schools, high schools, how to pitch for coaching clients and done for you services clients, how to pitch for conferences, and all of the monthly Q&A calls that you missed are in there. All of the monthly co-working sessions that came before you even joined, you have access to, and all of the leads that we have found for you for HR directors every single month is going to be in there. So even if you join today, you're going to get all the leads that we gave them before. And we don't just give you the company name and the website and the emails and all of that stuff. We also are going to give you their LinkedIn profile links so that you can pitch them via LinkedIn. Because if you go to the LinkedIn profile link, you're actually going to be able to say, this actually works. Okay? So if you go to the LinkedIn profile link, even if their email is different, their LinkedIn profile will tell you whether or not that person is still there. Then we're going to give you access to the Build Your First 25K Offer mini course. You can download the workbook. You have all the elements of a powerful corporate offer, creating the irresistible offer. Bonus session on licensing is in here. All of this is in here. And we're not even going to charge you the $5,000 that the program is clearly worth. We're going to give it to you until midnight for just $2,600. And when you join, you're going to be able to get a ticket to Speak Your Way to Cash live. But here's a cool thing that we added. We actually worked with a developer to build out the corporate offer creation GPT, but you can also use this for your B2C offers or any other services that you sell. Here's how it works. It's going to say, create me a corporate offer. It's going to ask your area of expertise. Now, we actually train this on our process for developing offers. Let's say my expertise is leadership. Then it's going to ask me, okay, great. What results can you develop? Helping leaders retain talent. Very general. Then it's going to ask you, okay, great. Who is your ideal client, industry, company size? The more details you give it, the better. But I'm just going to say Fortune 500. This is actually coded off of how we think about offer creation. It's almost like someone gave a testimonial today and they were like, it's literally like having a mini Ashley in your pocket and only members get access to this. This is not publicly available at all. Okay. What did it do here? It gave me 3 tiers of an offer ranging in prices for $20,000 to $60,000 and above. Okay. But here's what's dope. I'm going to say, great. Looks good. Write me a proposal I can send via email to the client. Now, it's going to take that offer and it's going to create your proposal in a matter of seconds. Okay? And so one of the things that I want you all to understand is that what we've created here is something that will actually allow you to develop your offers and your proposals in a matter of minutes. So you don't have to wonder about like, oh my goodness, what will I sell? So this is really behind the scenes of the membership, not to mention you actually get the Facebook group and so much more. This is our Facebook group. In the Pitch Your Way to Cash membership, one of the most powerful elements is you can actually post your pitch for feedback. And under this post, when you post your pitch, a coach, a Speak Your Way to Cash coach will actually respond and give you feedback on your pitch. So you're going to actually get that feedback, okay? All of this for $2,600. When you break that down, you guys, let me see what that turns out to be. When you break that down, that's like less than $220 a month, okay? That's less than $220 a month. Now, we have the annual option only. So when you join the membership, it's $2,600 by tonight, or it goes up in pricing, and it may go up. It'll go up by like $100 tomorrow, and then by Monday, it'll go back to its regular price. But it goes up $100 per day. So if you join by tonight, and today's date, I don't even know what the date is, y'all, but I know this video will be on my YouTube channel for a long time. The date right now is March 13th, 2025. So if you're watching it after that, you can use code YouTube to get something on the membership, but it will not be this rate. It will not be this rate, okay? So I wanted to share that with my YouTube family, Instagram family, and LinkedIn family, because I know there's some of you all who watch our channels and our content because you're looking to sell to corporations. And if that's why you watch this channel, our membership is literally the best next step to help you to sell to corporations. Someone said it's like this book on 10X. And you get live coaching and accountability. You can get a pitch pal. There's monthly coaching calls that are live. So I wanted to share that with you guys as well, because some of you all may not have made it to the summit. That offer closes on Monday, but tonight that $2,600 rate expires at midnight. That's going to be the best rate you'll get this weekend on the membership. So I want to make sure you all have that opportunity. And I wanted to tell y'all, we're winning in 2025, period. That's code. We're living by that code. And right now, I have clients who are pitching via voice notes on LinkedIn, and they're like, nobody was mad that I pitched them. Everyone was so excited to hear about the offer. They were so excited to hear from me. They were so excited about all the things that we had going on. And I'm just like, yeah, of course they are. Of course they are, because people still want help, and people still want to go to the next level in their business, and people still want to go to the next level in their lives. And so whenever there's times where there's more chaos and more uncertainty, that means that there's opportunities for true, strong leaders to do what leaders do best, which is lead. And your people in your area of expertise, in your market, they need you to step up and lead them. And they will only follow if you find them. They may not know who you are, but you know the identity of who they are. If you help organizations to train managers, then you need to be pitching to HR directors every single day. No more excuses for small action. Like, let's go. This is the time. Some of you need to increase your action. Unless you are overloaded with work and can't even handle all the work that you already have with your clients, you need to be putting seeds into the ground. And once you develop your written sales process and system, which the membership will help with, then you'll be able to outsource it to somebody else. So I made that available to you guys. You all do with it what you want. Do with it what you want. But in order to get the rate that I talked about, you actually need to use code MASTERCLASS. That's what I did not say. You need to use code MASTERCLASS in order to get that rate. The code is MASTERCLASS. So if you use code MASTERCLASS by tonight at midnight, you'll be able to get the membership for over 40% off. Over 40% off. It's like almost 50% off. Okay, so I want you all to take full advantage of that. I want you all to be encouraged, to be inspired, and keep living your best life. Like, do whatever you need to do to protect your mind during this time, protect your peace. Only focus on positivity, things that can move you forward. If you are feeling like, oh my goodness, Ashley, I'm trying, but I just cannot, then I want you to get some help. There is nothing wrong with reaching out to a qualified therapist. You may have to try a few before you find the one that works for you. It may be a life coach that suits your needs. You figure out what it is that you need, but you go after it and you get that help. Because as business owners, as entrepreneurs, the first thing we need to take care of is ourselves. And one of the mindsets that has really transformed my life, you guys, is not allowing my personal feelings to be shackled to how my business is doing. Okay? If you can divorce those two and you can keep pushing despite what the business is telling you, then that is going to change the game for you, because you need to make sure that you understand that you are a worthwhile, happy, healthy, whole person, regardless of what the business is doing. You are always worthy, regardless of what the business is doing. And then that'll allow you to be in a state where you can consistently grow the business. But be careful about the silent things you tell yourself. Like, if it's not moving you forward, it could be pulling you back. So you want to analyze those thoughts, write them down. If you need professional help, I want you to get that. I'm a huge advocate of that. Qualified help, heavy on the qualified, because, you know, titles aren't the only thing that qualifies people. So please do your due diligence. But that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I wanted to make sure that I made that available, particularly for my fam who has been like showing out on YouTube, supporting all the videos, subscribing and liking. I know that you guys want more support and more help around landing these corporate offers. And this does exactly that. And so when we decided to run this offer, I wanted to make sure that I definitely shared it with my YouTube family, LinkedIn family, Instagram fam, and Facebook, so that you all can get the help that you need. So if you are on any of these platforms, if you're on Instagram, then the link is in my bio, but it's also just www.pitchyourwaytocash.com to join that. Additionally, y'all, we are still collecting people on the wait list for the Speak Your Way to Cash tour. We have hundreds of people on the wait list already. And New York, #1 state right now is Atlanta. After that is New York. After that is the DMV. I think after that is Chicago, which is my hometown, so we got to come with it. And then I think Houston, Dallas, and Atlanta. No, I think Atlanta was #1. Did I say that? Well, New York was #2 for sure. It was like Atlanta and New York were 1 and 2. Okay. So we're still running on the tour. The tour tickets open April 1st. If you're on the wait list, you'll get your tickets at 8 a.m. You want to make sure you're on the wait list because you guys, this tour is going to sell out. It sold out last year. We're going to sell out again this year. Okay. And so a lot of people from last year are coming back. So if you're not on the wait list, you're definitely going to risk not getting your seat. So just go to speakyourwaytocash.com/tour. And that website is up. So if you go to www.speakyourwaytocash.com/tour, you will be able to get your seat for the tour. Get the wait list. You'll be able to get the wait list for the tour. So this is the website. Join the wait list now for the city that you actually want a ticket for. That is going to make sure that you get what you need. So we're going to Chicago, New York, DC, Houston, Dallas, and Atlanta this year. So I want to make sure you all are there. And this tour, oh my gosh, it was incredible last year. And this year we're changing all the content. It's the Your First Corporate Offer Tour. So we are just going to push this message out all year long. And I'm so excited to see so many of you already join the waitlist. We have hundreds of people on the waitlist. And we literally did I think 1 or 2 YouTube videos about it. So I'm excited. It's going to be amazing. April 1st is going to be a big day. If you want to come to the tour and you are not on the wait list, you run the risk of missing it. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat for you all to do that. And then I'll also drop the link in the chat for you guys to get your seat in the membership. And then I'll tell you to use code masterclass for and if you want to join, but you need to use Klarna or Afterpay or any of that kind of stuff, just comment payment plan and someone from the team will make sure you get what you need and give you a backlink for you to use some of those tools on the payment. Okay. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you all got some value out of this. Remember, we are winning all 2025. Remember the code, choose the code that you're going to live by, and then stand firm to it. Nothing happens to me. Everything happens for me. No matter what, that's a code that I live by. It's helped me through some really rough times and just allowed me to take the gift out of every situation, even the hard ones. All right, I'm praying for you guys. I'm rooting for your best. And I cannot wait to see so many of you on the tour. I cannot wait for this summer tour this year and actually get to meet you guys and hug you all in person. Have an incredible, incredible Thursday. And I'll see some of you tomorrow because I'm doing the summit. Tomorrow's the last day, so I'll see you there.